Education. Let's talk education. Because I think it's time for the educational system to hold some accountability. Let's be frank. You're a big infrastructure in society that we rely on so heavily. Yet you fail to educate many of us appropriately. Let's talk national curriculum. Because we need to implement true Black history in all educational provisions. And I'm not just talking once a year in the month of October. Because I don't remember no detailed Black history during my early years in education or as I got older. But take this next one in carefully. Because in order to understand racism thoroughly, it needs to be taught from the voices of those who experience it daily. And I'm not saying someone other than a Black person can't teach racism correctly. I'm just saying those that attempt to teach need to acknowledge and understand whether they themselves are racist indirectly. And when I say indirectly, I mean those racial slurs, those fetishes of Black men and women, but you don't understand their worth. Those Caribbean holidays, but the N-word is still heard. You say you're pretty for a Black girl. I say my mum raised me to see my beauty first. But your lips are so big. But your ignorance is even bigger. Our mindsets is what you should fear most. Now that's something you need to consider. You get defensive and say, I can't be racist because my neighbours are Black too. But there's no logic to that. Instead, that just makes you a racist with Black people around you. You glamorise mixed race babies. But are you prepared to teach in the complexities they're about to face? Because no mixed race child should ever have to choose between their mum or dad's heritage or race. But let's just blame it on lack of education. They took down the slave trader Colston. I kind of wanted to scream and shout. Now they need to replace that post with a statue of John Boyega or Marcus Rashford because those brothers spoke out. They risked it all for the community. Now that's what you call real top celebrities. But don't get me wrong, I appreciate British history. But we seem to learn more about Henry VIII and his lack of monogamy rather than teaching kids about the origin of racial inequality that still to this day divides us in society. So you tell me what's more important to learn. What about colonisation? Let's teach the kids about all the land we owned before it was robbed by white nations. Or what happened pre and post Windrush generation. Now that would be some history. And just remember, the way we think, act and behave reflects how we were grown. No one's born racist. Like anything we learn, that education starts at home.